How's everybody doing? Well, I'm going to do a part 3 of Virgo and Sagittarius for Mrs. Goodman, who doesn't feel that what I had said, well, according to the comments she made, done, because you barely scratched the surface. You get all kinds of responses on YouTube. And no, I did not go deeper into Virgo and Sagittarius, so I'm doing a part 3 to honor that, because apparently it wasn't important what I had to say, but just to get to that point. So I'm going to get to that point in honor for you, Mrs. Goodman, or Mr. Goodman, whoever you are, and for the rest of everybody else. Virgo and Sagittarius. You have to understand, jumping right in, that Sagittarius is a very bright and optimistic sign, blah, blah, blah. You know my videos on Sagittarius. Sagittarius is really very easygoing, very agreeable. Now, don't get me wrong, Sagittarius will lay it on you when he feels or she feels that you are wrong. And of course, they don't do it in the best way. You would want to sugarcoat things. You would want to, I think anybody else would want to sugarcoat things to make it easier. But that's not the case. Sag will not do that. Despite the Sags can be open-minded and friendly, and as a lover, they can be just an epitome of what a partner would want, both man and woman. See, so Sagittarius compatibility options can be many. When it comes to relationships, there is an undercurrent of respect and tolerance. Now, very interesting that I will say the words respect and tolerance, because that can cut either way. Sagittarians, both the man and the woman, want respect all the time. Remember, it just left Capricorn. You have Capricorn, then you have you have Sagittarius, and then you have Capricorn. Okay, and so there's some influences there of needing and wanting due respect. And of course, the Sagittarian may not be in agreement with everybody, but he's tolerant. He's tolerant and he's tolerable. So Sagittarius, when they're in love, both the man and the woman, understand that the bright, breezy nature of who they are will also come with it a blunt side to Sagittarius. And it is this blunt side of Sagittarius that can hurt Virgo, being a far more sensitive sign than Sagittarius. Virgo can do two things. If we're dealing with the Virgo woman and the Sagittarian man, such as Beyonce and Jay-Z, which is one of the comments that I read that someone mentioned that they were Sagittarian. So since that was thrown out there, and I thank you, by the way, whoever made that comment. I'm not going to put your name out there. But let's use them just for a New York minute as an example. You all saw, well, first let me say this. Virgo can react in two ways. If we're dealing with a Virgo woman, with a Sagittarian man like Jay-Z. Okay? So, if you remember the video where Solange, which is Beyonce's sister, was, having an altercation with Jay-Z on the elevator. That became national news. We all saw the video. And we all saw Beyonce standing there like a glass menagerie, watching the whole interplay go on with her sister and her husband, Jay-Z. And we're not going to go into the details about that because I'm not getting paid to report on that. And I don't want to go into any kind of liability or libel issues with YouTube or with the celebrity couple. But I will say this, that the alleged accusation of Jay-Z having cheated on Beyonce, which caused Solange to react the way she did in that elevator, caused everybody to think or question, well, what is Beyonce doing? What was her response to this allegation, which caused her sister Solange to go into this kind of rage in the elevator? Well, it's interesting. Me being a Virgo and she, Beyonce being a Virgo, she reacted by being silent. She reacted by being silent. And that spelled everything that I needed to know about what was going on in that situation. I do believe the allegations were true, solely on the reaction of Beyonce. It's a typical Virgo, female Virgo response. She probably was hurt and devastated, which comes out in another way, probably that we are not going to see. But in the public, silence, that virtue of silence and quiet dignity. And in that, you can harbor a lot of pain. You can harbor a lot of shit. But keep the virtue of silence. So the Virgo woman, if we're dealing with the Virgo woman and the Sag man, the Virgo woman can react in two ways to the bluntness of Sagittarius, which is emotional or psychological withdrawal. A timeout. And she don't even have to say that to him or let him know, because Virgos will act quietly and sometimes not let you know. Or she can react furiously. The point is that the Sagittarian bluntness can hurt the sensitivities of Virgo. If it's a Sagittarian woman with a Virgo man, the same court holds true. So with this combination, it will be a matter of respect, mutual respect and understanding, and understanding each other's buttons and cues. You see, Virgo is a sign of subtlety, but so is Sagittarius. Sagittarius is subtle when he's sarcastically mean. When Sagittarians, they can be sarcastically mean. And when they're mean, they can be very subtle. And their subtleness can be just as worse as their bluntness. Because in this sense, they're trying to hurt you. But the bluntness, they're not trying to hurt you. They're just being truthful, and that truth can be painful. Truth can be bothersome. Truth can be irritating. It's really true. And both Sagittarius, the man and the woman, and Virgo, the man and the woman, condition. They both condition. They both have a mouth to them. Virgo can have a mouth on him or on her and cut you to shreds. But so can Sagittarius. So here we go again with the concept of the War of the Roses. The War of the Roses may have taken place by the time Beyonce and Jay-Z got home after that display in that elevator. Or maybe what happened in that elevator was a precipice to something bigger and far worse than Michael Douglas and Kathleen Turner portrayed on that movie, The War of the Roses, in the 1980s. And it fits the same pattern of wealth and power, with power couples destroying each other because, they got money, they got fame, they got power, they got status, they're equals. So what could be the topper? There always has to be a topper. One has to always top over the other, or that's the supposed theory, which leads to the War of the Roses, when couples then turn it on each other. What can cause that is an accumulation of hurt and pain and disrespect and dismissal. And Virgo can do that over time to anybody, and so can Sag, especially when they're not happy. And it becomes the big elephant in the room. So understand that with Sagittarius and Virgo, if we're dealing with the male Virgo, he can be just as distant and emotional despondent as a Sagittarian can be blunt and brutally honest. It's about a check and balance system between the two of them. Okay? Another situation is that, you know, with Sagittarius, the tact that they like, the tact that they lack, they make up in their joviality. They can be very jovial. And that just makes you just want to embrace them and be with them and love them. Right? Sagittarius does well with Virgo once they develop a sense of mutual respect. And that is all, because I do have a reading in another minute, and I thought that I needed to give that. And I hope that was good, Mrs. Goodman. Bye.